News Hour at 9. Debate number 1 on Times Now. Super Prime Time.
And joining me on the debate is Gaurav Bhatia, national spokesperson of the BJP, Ishkaran Bhandari, advocate, Abdul Razak Khan, political analyst, Atikur Rahman, Islamic scholar, Tehseen Poonawala, political analyst. But my first question goes to my friend Vishnu Jain, lawyer for the petitioners in the Gyanvapi case. Vishnu Jain, yesterday you were with me on the News Hour and you expressed your apprehensions, and today there are petitions in court which say that this entire evidence trail through the survey videos should not be allowed to come out. Why?
See, I strongly condemn this move of the Muslim side, because if it's a fountain, then why it should not be examined in the public domain? Apart from that, Navika ji, I want to tell you that our jurisprudence has developed a lot. We are living in a time where the Supreme Court has said that the court proceedings should be live telecasted. The Gujarat High Court is the first High Court in the country where the court proceedings were live telecasted. And by virtue of Section 74 of the Indian Evidence Act, this is a public record and a public document. So therefore, if the Muslim sides are saying that it's a fountain, let it come in the public domain. I strongly believe that it should come in the public domain. Everyone should see, because we are fighting the case for the community. It is not a question of one Mr. Vishnu Shankar Jain or these 5 women. Every single segment of the society is affected by it, and therefore I strongly believe that all these proofs should come before the public. Let everyone analyze that whether it's a Shivling or a fountain, and ultimately the final word of the court will be there. We all will abide by it. But you can't say that don't bring all these important piece of evidence which is now part of the record of the court by virtue of Order 26, Rule 9 and 10. Now it should not be in public domain, and court has already taken it on record. So it's nothing that it is unofficial. It's an official record which must be brought in public domain and which must be seen by everyone.
Well, Abdul Razak Khan, who wants to suppress the truth? Because if it's a fountain, if it's a mosque, what's there to worry? Nobody. Let people of the country see it and come to a conclusion कि हाँ भाई mosque ही है, that is a fountain, and therefore the entire issue will just die down. You may not even need to proceed in courts. So what is the scare?
No. Navika ji, there is no scare, but the scare is that the majority has already made up a mindset that they will snatch this place from the Muslim side. Let me tell you, Vishnu Jain ji was not even the court appointed commissioner, but he went ahead and told the Varanasi court that it is a Shivling. The court, before even finding out whether it is a rival Shivling or what exactly it is, gave orders.
When did I say that I was the court appointed commissioner? I was part of the survey team, sir. And so Muslims.
Let me complete.
There were 5
the petitioners went with the commissioners. When did Vishnu Jain ever be called the commissioner?
Tell what I'm trying to convey.
No. Try with facts. Please try with facts and not with half-truth and lies.
That is what I'm saying, Navika ji. A false narrative will be set in the minds of the people. Baba ji mil gaye. Before even the court could decide whether it is a Shivling or a fountain. Today, if these videos are, in the public domain,
my brother Abdul Razak Khan, that is the whole point. That is the whole point, to set aside the false narrative. As they say, a picture
The Hindu parties allege that the Babri Masjid was built atop a Ram temple, which was false, which was not true. The Supreme Court very clearly said that there was no temple beneath the Babri Masjid.
They use the word non-Hindu structure. Non-Islamic structure. It's not that you are interpreting it in your own way. We are interpreting it in our own way.
Abdul Razak Khan, 1 minute. Now calm down. Let me tell you a few facts, because you're economizing on facts. Number 1, in the Babri Masjid issue, the issue was not for the court to declare whether it is a mandir or a masjid. The issue was a title suit. So the court did not get into the matter of whether it was a mandir before that. All right, it was not supposed to answer that question, and it did not attempt to, but it did. But it did say that there was a non-Islamic structure. 1 minute. Now 1 minute. Now 1 minute. Secondly, you are saying that there is a false narrative that is being said. My friend, that's exactly why I am saying that the video proof should come out, because a picture speaks not just 1,000, sometimes 1 billion words, and that picture will show the world, what the right narrative is. तो आपको डर क्यों लग रहा है गौरव भाटिया जी? गौरव भाटिया जी, इनको डर क्यों लग रहा है? क्योंकि ये false, their charge is that a false narrative is being said. The pictures can put that to rest by putting the truth in front of everybody. Why are they stopping the truth from coming out?
Navika ji, we've all heard of the phrase, what is there to hide if you are on the right side? It seems that the Hindu community has full faith in the constitution and the judiciary, is seeking legal redressal as per law for their grievances. On the other side, I think there is a lot to hide for the Muslim side, for the reason इनकी दाढ़ी में तिनका नहीं है, इनकी पूरी दाढ़ी तिनको वाली है. I remember still when we debated first, Navika, and when the court ordered a survey, you remember this very same अंजुमन इंतजामिया कमेटी said हम घुसने नहीं देंगे, अगर कोर्ट कहेगा तो हम क्या अपना गला कटवा देंगे. And today now they are objecting to the survey that has been done, which has very crucial piece of evidence. Now let us examine the evidence that we've got. Remember the day when Shivling was found there? These people started with a narrative, it's a fountain hurting the sentiments of the Hindus. Even the Honorable Supreme Court in its wisdom decided that this Shivling should be protected. And after that, the area was sealed. Now today, if the survey consisting of videos and pictures reveal a lot about the character of the place, why is it that this committee is going before the court to say that this video and report should not be made public? Definitely there is only one conclusion and nothing else. The conclusion is that there is very vital piece of evidence that shows the presence of a temple and a Shivling, and the Muslim side doesn't want this truth to come out. But I can assure you, the court would do justice, and the Hindu community has full faith in the judiciary of our country, and no matter what kind of games they try to play, the truth will eventually come out.
Well, Tehseen Poonawala.
Please be quiet and don't speak in between.
Tehseen Poonawala.
Evidence is for the court.
1 minute, 1 minute. Tehseen Poonawala, I want to ask you a question. You support freedom of speech, freedom of expression. Anybody should be putting out the truth in the manner that they want to. I want to ask you, is this becoming a test for the people of India, that they should not be able to see what's there in those videos? Journalists like myself who would want to put it out and put it in front of the people to have their own viewpoint on what it looks like. You know, of course the courts will decide, but you know, at least pictures can be seen, people can make their own assessment, people can at least have some truth in front of them. I want to ask you, if the mosque side or the people who believe it's a mosque, if they are so steadfast in their belief, why are they fearing that truth and the videos when it comes out and the truth that it shows will suddenly pull the rug from under their feet? Because there is no other reason why they are stopping this from coming out.
Good evening, ma'am. Thank you for having me on the show. Good evening to all my fellow panelists. Good evening to all your viewers. You're right, ma'am, and you're somebody who I look up to. You always uphold freedom of speech, and you uphold the truth should come out. And therefore, it was very responsible of you personally. I saw your tweets and Channel Times now. When Mr. Jain went about claiming that a Shivling was found, you all put out, and I quoting the Times Now tweet, that it has been alleged by A side, that is Mr. Jain's side. So you all said it is alleged. However, there were many irresponsible journalists, your colleagues, not from your channel but other channels, who claimed to take Mr. Jain's claim at face value. Subsequently, the commissioner who was put for inspection was suspended by the court itself. The court, with justice, suspended him not just for leaking information, for leaking videos and for leaking photographs. It is this objection, it is these objectionable photographs today in court that A side is contesting, because the commissioner who's photographed or videographed it is the one who's been suspended by a court of law.
Absolutely.
So let the law take its due process. I have one more submission to make. The Honorable, I have just one more submission, Gaurav Bhai. Gaurav Bhai, just one more submission, if I could please. I have just one more submission. The Honorable Supreme Court, in its wisdom, gave justice to the Muslim side, all Indians, by actually opening up the mosque, which on false claims by Mr. Jain and senior Mr. Jain was actually shut down, and therefore trying to alter the structure of the place of the worship that happens there. And the Supreme Court actually gave justice to the Muslims. But once again, a narrative is being set that no, Muslims are against justice. Muslims have accepted every judgment of the Supreme Court and bow before the majesty of the Supreme Court. The only gentleman, just one line,
there is a lot, there is a lot of water that has flown in the Ganges since the time of Ajay Mishra, the first court commissioner. A lot of water has flown in the Ganges. I am asking you about today. I am asking about the moment that we are standing in. In this moment, why should the videography survey, which was also okayed by the Supreme Court of India, in which you seem to have a lot of confidence, they said go ahead with this survey. So that survey findings and those pictures, if it comes out, why are people worried about it? You are not answering that question. You are going around and doing whataboutery on everything that happened 2 weeks ago, but not talking about the issue of today, which is why are people worried about the truth coming out? And the truth, normally you people have different ways of looking at the truth, but the truth has one version.
Can I just answer in 2 lines? Yeah, just 2 lines. You rightly said that I have gone back to 2 weeks ago, and you are pulling me up for that, and I respect you. But somebody is going back 300 years ago, are not being pulled up. I'm being pulled up for going 2 weeks ago. I just have 2 lines to make in 2 lines. Number one, a claim was made on your show that Muslims do not seem to have faith in the Supreme Court of India. Muslims not only have accepted every judgment of the courts of India.
Don't repeat yourself.
Please. No, I'll just take 2. I'll take less than 30 seconds.
No, you answer all this. Why should the truth not come out? Why should the videos not come out? You have an answer to that. I'll give you time. You don't have an answer to that. I'm going to move on.
I'm exactly answering that, but please allow me. I'll take 40 seconds out of finish. The only gentleman to go to jail for contempt of Supreme Court and lying to the Supreme Court is a BJP chief minister. So BJP has no faith. And
what about it? Vishnu Jain, इनके पास कोई जवाब नहीं है. Every day, this is the Lutyens lobby which stands and says my freedom of expression and my freedom of speech is being throttled. And now today when we are asking for our freedom of speech and expression, they are trying to stop it.
With utmost respect to Tehseen ji, I want to say that he has put wrong facts before your channel. First of all, Ajay Kumar Mishra was not the sole advocate commissioner. Mr. Vishal Singh was also the advocate commissioner. And in the inner, sir, 1 minute.
Tehseen you can't speak over everybody. 1 minute. I'll have to lower your fader.
I didn't interrupt you in between. The second advocate commissioner, Vishal Singh, had gone inside the red zone and the barricading. And so far as the report of red zone and barricading is concerned, that was given by Vishal Singh. And Ajay Kumar Mishra was removed. Tehseen sir, please have a look at the order of the court. He was removed because his photographer RP Singh leaked the information. So he has suffered his consequences, and he had not done the survey of the internal area. He had done the survey of the external area. Point number 1. Point number 2, I am asking you that if Vishnu Shankar Jain or senior Mr. Jain claims are wrong, my point to you is this: please prove me that this is a fountain. The advocate commissioner has given a report, नाविका जी, कि 2.5 फीट का ये शिवलिंग था. 1 मिनट. और इसमें ड्रिल कितने सेंटीमीटर का हुआ? 63 सेंटीमीटर का. मतलब अराउंड 2 फीट का आपने ड्रिल किया. अगर फाउंटेन था तो पूरा ड्रिल क्यों नहीं हुआ? नीचे से पानी क्यों नहीं आ रहा है? ये सारे सवाल ना पूछे जाए. मुंह बंद कर ले क्योंकि कोर्ट की प्रोसीडिंग चल रही है. ये कैसी बात हुई? मैं कहना चाहता हूं और बहुत ही जिम्मेदारी से चाहता हूं। जो आप तहसीन भाई एक बात कह रहे हैं ना कि हमने झूठ बोला, मैं तो कह रहा हूं कि आप आइए, फोटोज देखिए, वीडियोस देखिए, पूरा देश देखे कि हमने झूठ बोला है कि सच बोला है। क्यों, कौन सी मस्जिद ऐसी है जिसके पिलर में मूर्तियां मिलती, छेनी हथौड़ी से हमारी देवी देवताओं की मूर्तियां तोड़ी गई है, ब्रह्म कमल मिला है, और दीन मोहम्मद का केस पढ़ा है तहसीन भाई? हैव यू रेड जजमेंट ऑफ दीन मोहम्मद?
1 मिनट
सर, पब्लिक के देखने से क्या मिलना है?
जजमेंट तो कोर्ट ही देगी, बट आई वांट टू आस्क, why should people of India not see what has been presented as evidence? It is evidence, it is part of court
Navika,
record.
can I spell
Who's
out
trying
the
to
reason?
stop this? Gaurav Bhatia.
Scene.
I'm coming to you, I'm coming to the others. Gaurav Bhatia, quick interjection.
You know, let us understand what we are debating today. Navika, nobody can dispute, even with our differences, that this matter is historically very important. Plus, it is very sensitive because the sentiments of both communities are involved. Now, yes, Tehseen was making a point. Till the report was submitted, ideally, it should have remained confidential, but that does not take away from the veracity and the credibility of the report. Now, why is it important that this report be made public? Once it has been submitted to the court, it is ideal that it should be made public, because justice should not only be done, it should also be seen to have been done. And the reason is simple. We have a firm belief that the courts will rule in our favor. The Muslim community will then cry foul, and the evidence and the recording would not be in public domain. How would we judge whether the judgment appears to be also correct? There is no perversity in the judgment, and therefore I think it is important. If the Muslim community has nothing to hide, let the report be public, and everyone should know whether there is an existing, marks of Hindu community and temple worship or not.
No, but has the court said that these should be submitted in a sealed cover?
No,
the court has not called for a sealed cover
procedure
submission. When there is something that the court wants in a sealed cover, it says so.
Yes.
So
Navika,
Atikur Rahman,
we don't understand.
I want to
India is
ask you. Of
what
course,
is there to hide?
I can, as a journalist, I can say there is a claim by Mr. Vishnu Shankar Jain, and there is a claim by petitioners on the other side, who are representing the Muslim side. Both are making their claims, and till the court gives its verdict, they can be only claims. I'm saying in every claim, the process of finding out through the survey of photographs was started, and the Supreme Court also gave its blessings to that survey. My only question is, when the survey is in, the videography is in, the photographs are in, why is now suddenly there an attempt to try and stop the photographs from coming out? I have a limited question. I'm not questioning the rights of the court. I'm not questioning your claims. I'm not questioning Mr. Vishnu Jain's claims. I'm not questioning anybody's claims. And I completely believe that the verdict will be given by the Supreme Court. लेकिन सच बाहर आने में दिक्कत क्या है, ये मुझे समझ में नहीं आ रही.
Yeah, there is a dikkat, Navika ji, and the dikkat is all these claims and counterclaims presented in the court in the form of either videography, pictures or anything, have they been ratified by experts? What is the next step in the courts when some claims and counterclaims by videography or any other evidence, they have to be ratified by some experts, by some documents, by some corroborative evidences that has not been done. Now, since the sentiment of both the communities are very high, the media plays its game, the people like Vishnu Jain plays their game, the Hindu elements are at a very, very big play.
Were only meant to see what is the structure and what are the engravings on the walls of the masjid. That was the only attempt. अब उसमें कौन सा एक्सपर्ट कमेंट चाहिए इश्करन भंडारी जी? क्या आंख अगर सीधा दिखता हो तो सीधा देख लीजिए, और अगर नहीं दिखता हो तो चश्मा लगा लीजिए. इससे ज्यादा व्हाट एक्सपर्ट ओपिनियन इज रिक्वायर्ड?
It's a
Can
question
I
to me,
have
can I
10
answer?
seconds
Navika ji, I
more?
just want to tell that.
Okay, all right,
It was also
1
a
minute.
public document.
All right, 1 minute. Atikur
Thank
Rahman,
you.
10 seconds
Thank
more
you,
and then.
Ishkaran.
Yes, yes.
Thank you, Ishkaran. 10 seconds. Thank you. It is a historical evidence that Aurangzeb had come over and demolished. The Farman is there. Now this comes in the context of the 1991 Places of Worship Act. Let it be determined as the court
What a
said.
contradictory
The Supreme
Abdul
Court
Razak
said,
Khan,
Chandrachud.
Abdul Razak Khan,
statement
औरंगजेब ने तोड़ा, ये आतिकुर रहमान मानते हैं, आप मानते हैं? वहाँ मंदिर था और औरंगजेब ने तोड़कर मस्जिद बनाई, आप मानते हैं?
मंदिर उधर निर्माण हुआ था
Habib says,
जिस जगह पर किसी अन्य धर्म का कोई धर्म का स्थल हो उसको demolish करके
Irfan Habib, the historian, has
तो उस
established
मस्जिद
this.
में नमाज नहीं होगी।
नाविका जी,
इसलिए तुम चाहते हैं कि वापस दीजिए, इसलिए तो कह रहे हैं वापस
नहीं,
दीजिए,
नहीं,
क्योंकि
नहीं,
चलो
आप तोड़ के मस्जिद बना दी।
अब now there are differences. अब now there are differences.
And then you are saying I'm claiming wrongly. That's the entire basis of my claim.
What do you mean by Nanga Naach? What do you mean by Nanga Naach? No, what do you mean by Nanga Naach?
It's a naked dogmatry. It's a complete religious dogma and bigotry, nothing else.
Ishkaran Bhandari
You want to wash
responds.
the linen in
He's
public?
saying, Atikur Rahman says that because the Hindu side is making claim on this as a Shivling and as a temple site, this is a Nanga Naach that is happening. Respond to Atikur Rahman.
नाविका जी, पर पहली बात तो यहाँ पे यह मिस्टर रहमान से औरंगजेब ने तोड़ा एंड मिस्टर खान से तोड़ के हम मस्जिद बनाते नहीं, तो मतलब ये खुद ही मान रहे हैं, दोनों की बात मानो कि तोड़ने का प्रूफ है और तोड़ के मस्जिद बनती नहीं, तो आपके हिसाब से फिर वो मस्जिद नहीं है, फिर तो हिंदू साइड को आपको वैसे ही दे देनी चाहिए, फिर तो डिस्प्यूट ही खत्म हो जाता है। डिस्प्यूट क्या बचा के बाद? पर यहाँ पे एक बात मैं बोलना चाहूंगा, जो एक सेकेंड नाविका जी, आई डिडंट इंटरप्ट एनीबॉडी, प्लीज डोंट इंटरप्ट मी, डू नॉट इंटरप्ट मी। I did not interrupt anybody. Please don't interrupt me. I didn't interrupt anybody. Please don't interrupt.
All right. You know, Ishkaran is coming in last. Allow him to make his point. Yes, please do not disturb.
Between what Mr. Rahman and Mr. Khan says, I think if both their statements are taken at face value, the Hindu side should anyway win. But let us come to the debate which is at hand. A picture speaks 1,000 words. Vishnu Jain has done a fabulous job in the court, and even here he has explained the procedure extremely well, that it's a public document. My compliments to him for the amazing battle he's fighting. But let us subject ourselves to a commonsensical point. There is a reason that proceedings in courts are public, to instill confidence in people. There is a reason in democracies you have public trials, you have public evidence, so people can have confidence that the judge is deciding correctly, which is different from dictatorship or communist countries where you do not know what the judge will decide and why he will decide. So people who want to hide evidence, people who want evidence not to be brought in public light, people who want judges to seal evidence, of course have a lot to hide, and the reason is in Mr. Khan, because if the evidence comes that it was a mandir and it was broken, then of course it is not a masjid which can be duly established there, and the Hindu side will win. That is why they want to hide the evidence.
Everybody knows
that is why they want to hide the evidence. You will not be able to hide the evidence.
My dear friend Abdul Razak Khan, may I remind you that in 1991, when the Places of Worship Act was brought in Parliament, when it was brought in Lok Sabha, the BJP had walked out. Because in 1991, the BJP was against the non-inclusion of Kashi Vishwanath and Mathura, Krishna Janmabhoomi in it. So there is absolutely nothing new. तो फिर आप कहेंगे कि 91 चुनाव, 96 चुनाव, 97 चुनाव, 2004 चुनाव, आप हर चुनाव में बीजेपी के बारे में आप ये कह सकते हैं।
बीजेपी, अरे फिर क्यों इसको इतना खींचा जा रहा है? क्योंकि इसको इतना भाव दिया जा रहा है?
कुछ लोग कह रहे हैं दिस इज
एविडेंस क्या है,
कुछ लोग मानते हैं कि ये उनके साथ गलत हुआ है और वो सही होना चाहिए. द हिस्टोरिकल रॉन्ग हैज टू बी करेक्टेड. यू कांट टेक अवे देयर फेथ, यू कांट टेक अवे देयर फेथ एंड देयर राइट. You can't take away their fight
for the court.
Ayodhya matter, the Supreme Court is on record saying historical wrongs can't be corrected by it.
Sorry, absolutely wrong. The Supreme Court, you are quoting Supreme Court wrongly, Atikur Rahman. Please be careful. The Supreme Court said that the historical wrongs can be rectified by the sovereign, by the sovereign of today.
And let me tell you,
sir, by your saying that I'm in contempt of court, I won't be in contempt of court. Just kindly have a look at the judgment of the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court said that the sovereign recognizes that the historical wrong has been done. The sovereign of the today's era can remedy it. And let me tell you that in our democratic setup, the judiciary is one of the sovereigns. Therefore,
Gaurav Bhatia, the best charge that Atikur Rahman has is that you're doing this because you have an eye on 2024 elections. As I said, 1991 से आप object कर रहे हो Places of Worship Act, which means 96, 98, 2004. Every election you were, using only mandirs for your political agenda.
Navika, they have a polluted way of thinking. Therefore, I would not like to say much, but I can very proudly, as a Bharatiya Janata Party spokesperson, say one thing. That today, there is Bharatiya Janata Party standing for the rights of the Hindu community. Rest, Congress Party, Samajwadi Party, TMC, AIMIM, Aam Aadmi Party, they have not even whispered about the Gyanvapi mandir. And there is a very important admission that has been made on your discussion, Navika. You must pay heed to that. One of the panelists conceded and admitted that a temple was desecrated. That means factually they have nothing to say. They only have a case legally talking about Places of Worship Act of 1991 that has been challenged before the Honorable Supreme Court. Notice has been issued, and if it is found to be unconstitutional, that legal claim will also go. One of the panelists was saying there is contempt of the court since the Supreme Court has said that you cannot correct historical wrongs. I would like to remind that person, this matter went to the Honorable Supreme Court. The Honorable Supreme Court ordered that the Shivling should be protected. So the Supreme Court knew what the matter is all about. They did not stay the trial. That has to be kept in mind. एंड नंगा नाच कहा गया. नाविका जी, नंगा नाच ये नहीं होता है कि आप अपनी लीगल रेमेडी को अवेल करें और सर्वोच्च न्यायालय में जाएं और हाई कोर्ट में जाएं. नंगा नाच ये होता है कि एक और लॉ है CAA, उस पे शाहीन बाग में आप प्रदर्शन करें बिना परमिशन के और जो आम आदमी है उसको दिक्कत हो, नारे लगाए देश विरोधी. नंगा नाच तब होता है जब ट्रिपल तलाक को अपराध बनाया जाए और कानून का विरोध हो. सो इफ दे लाइक प्लेसेस ऑफ वर्शिप एक्ट, व्हाई डोंट
और नंगा नाच तब भी होता है जब शाहरुख खान जो CAA प्रोटेस्ट में पुलिस वालों को रिवॉल्वर दिखा रहा था, वो जब पैरोल पे घर जाए तो उसको वेलकम मिले
और ये लोग
तो वो उसको वेलकम करें. नंगा नाच वो होता अतिकुर रहमान. बट तहसीन पूनावाला रेजिंग हिज हैंड. तहसीन पूनावाला.
नाला सुपारा में भी मिले थे. नाला सुपारा में.
Please, Navika, can we have some sanity? I mean, why always we being interrupted? Just 2 quick points. Why doesn't Atikur Rahman, why doesn't the government of India, current government of India, repeal these laws? Even Ishkaran said it. Why don't they repeal it if these are so unconstitutional? 6 years of Vajpayee ji, 8 years of Modi ji, they could do nothing about it. Just quickly, just one last point.
You will support or not?
Supreme Court,
because when the 370 was repealed, you were supporting the challenge to the repeal in the Supreme Court. So just admit today before times now that if it is repealed, you will support it or not. If the government will repeal the Places of Worship Act, Mr. Tehsin Poonawala, will you support it or not? They will repeal. Definitely the government will repeal.
I will take a legal position when the
government... No, why the legal position? You are challenging the government. So if the government repeals the Places of Worship Act, then you should say that is a dead and buried law.
They reserve the right. They reserve the right to take a position as it suits them. They reserve petition, they will criticize the government for China, for supporting China during Galwan, but they will go and meet the Chinese ambassador. They will sign MOUs with China. So they will take a position based on किस तरफ पलड़ा भारी है और किस तरफ हमें फायदा है और फायदा sorry to say कहीं हो नहीं रहा. Ishkaran Bhandari, last comment to you. Ishkaran Bhandari.
I definitely believe the government should repeal the Worship Act, but let Tehseen know it will not then only stop at Kashi, Mathura. There will be thousands of temples which Hindus can then claim. So be careful of what you wish for. Like you used to say, 370 will never go, or if 370 goes, Kashmir will not remain with India. सोच के मांगो क्या मांग रहे हो, मिलना जाए. मिलना जाए जो मांग रहे हो.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I have only one question. The question is that if there was a survey that was ordered by the courts in Varanasi and upheld by the Supreme Court of India, and the videography and the photographs are available, then why is there dithering on making them public? Why are people going into court, putting in petitions after petitions to stop the truth from coming out? To my mind, transparency solves half the problems in the world. And if people can see the truth, if the people can see with their own eyes what stays inside the Gyanvapi, they will make their own conclusions. Of course, the court will give its verdict. But matters of record, matters of evidence in the court should also be the right of the public to see. Who's preventing that? And what's the fear? The truth coming out can never be a fear, because Shivling hai ya Phawara, is it a Shivling or a fountain, will be seen in the pictures when they come out. Why try and stall the truth from coming out? The truth has only one version. And let people see it with their own eyes to make up their minds.